Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Bloodwing here. Back to bring you some grumpiness to your internet. And welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where you, at least today, get an extra side helping of drink a tall glass of shut the heck up. As is very clear by the title, and those that follow me on Twitter, I'm extra grumpy today. To begin with, there was no particular reason. But before I get into that, first of all, you're going to notice that there's no bear here with me today. He will be along shortly. He sent me a message saying he's going to be a little bit late. So he'll come along when he can. And that's cool. That's okay. He didn't tell me what he was doing, but he's probably eating or running somebody around. Yeah, Kyler, I know, right? Daggum kiss. Also, before I get started, please like and share the stream because YouTube's not going to do that. They're part of the reason I'm angry this morning and or this afternoon. And if you want to help out a little more, there are you can use super chats, or if you don't want YouTube to take 30% of what you give, there's a link to my Streamlabs and my Patreon in the description. So yeah, help an old guy out. Help an old guy out. So how's everybody, before I go off on my rants, how's everybody doing today? Today? God, I can't even talk. Jesus criminy. Oh, I tell you what. Hope everybody's having a good day. If you're under 30, I'm old enough to be your father. Oh, good God, my son is 35, my oldest. So yeah, that makes me feel older than me being 59. I'm hurt and upset, Blowing. You never said hello to me. Hello, the Batman. Hello, 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 hello. Did you hear that? Hello. Come on, Batman. You know I'm old and I don't see very good. So, yeah, I do miss chats sometimes. It happens. Cigar chomping penguin says he's doing all right. Had a job interview. Well, good luck. Good luck. Oh, I'm just trying to get my brain is just so full of stuff today, and I'll try not to give you dead air, and that shouldn't be a problem because can you speak up, Bloodwing? I don't quite catch that. Batman, hello. Opinionated Gulf City, Scotland. I feel like a baby here, 22. Well, you kind of are, but that's okay. That's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome here. Yeah, it's been a day for me. So, thank you, Owen Harmon. Love you, Bloodwing. God bless. Well, thank you. Love you too, man. But no homo, okay? It's 1934. Why did you ask? Yeah, Batman. Yeah, bite me. So why am I upset? Well, first of all, I woke up today. You'd think I'd be in a good mood because one, I'm off of the bed rest. Yay! I still have restrictions. I'm not allowed to pick up anything over 10 pounds. I'm not supposed to drive, stuff like that. Just good sense. And but I can get up and move around some. I don't have to sleep on my freaking back, which I hate sleeping on my back, and it was killing me. I was getting more pain out of my back and hips because of the way I had to lay than I was out of my surgery incision. Really didn't have a whole lot of pain out of that past the first couple of days. But Prophet of Drunk, 58 minutes. Can't stay long, but I'll catch the show later today. Well, I'm glad you stopped in. I'm you know, every little minute a bit counts. I'm glad you stopped in and said hi. But you know, I just woke up this morning, and will I be a mall walker? Probably not. The closest mall to where I live is about 15 to 20 minutes away, depending on traffic, and it's in an area of town that it's not the best area of town. Let's put it that way. Bad area. Closest mall to me here in Indianapolis would be over on 38th Street, West 38th Street, which is definitely gun and knife neighborhood. But I woke up this morning. We've all done it. I just woke up feeling like, stay the heck away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't, nothing. Get away. I'm grumpy. Evil one, Bloodwing, walking around the mall with shake weights. Oh my God, that needs to be a video. I agree with you. That would be funny. Random marriage shouldn't Bloodwing have started over with. Oh, wait, knocked my internet connection out of my computer. Ah, well, you big ding dong. Fort Apache, the Bronx, Bloodwing. Yeah. Thank you. The Batman people with false teeth can bite you via the mall. Yeah, via the mail. They can. Yeah, take it from me. Yeah. But hey, Pat, good to see you, buddy. I just woke up feeling grumpy. You know, it's happened to all of us. And then I made the mistake of logging into Twitter, which I should never do when I wake up feeling like that, because it's only going to make matters worse. And I started seeing some of the stupid things that people were saying. And hey, Maddie, kind of glad you're here. Haven't had a chance to watch your video yet because it was too close to the start of the stream, but I'll be interested to see it because it's one of the topics I want to talk about today. But the other 6 stores were angry with you. But yeah, probably. If you have the energy to be grumpy, it means you're getting better. Yeah, I felt pretty good. But to add to it, Mama Minnie, hey, Dad, chat, hey, baby. Those of you don't know, that's my daughter, my real life daughter. To add to it, for some reason, I had the Hershey squirts today. You know, the trots, diarrhea. I'm running back and forth to the bathroom, and in my case, I don't want to have to move too fast, you know. And just one thing after another, and honestly, I'm ready to rant. So today's format is going to be a little bit different. Doesn't mean we're not going to read the news, but I have at least 4 topics that I definitely want to cover today before we get going. And I'm a little bit nervous because I think 3 out of the 4 contents, everybody here will probably agree with me without question. The other one is a little questionable, and some of you are probably going to disagree with me, but I hope that that's okay with you because it is with me. We don't have to agree on everything to get along. But we'll see what happens. But we'll save that topic, that 1 out of the 4, for the last, so I don't lose you all right off of the get go. But we'll start in slow and work into the most controversial topic as we go along. I'm trying to stall a little bit, which shouldn't be a problem for me. Mama Minnie can tell you, if there's one thing I can do, it's talk. Is talk. Bear will be late. He sent me a message saying he'd be late. He didn't say how late or why for, but he says he's going to be late, and so he'll be along when he can. So I'm trying to stall a little bit till Bear gets here, because this will go better if I've got somebody to bounce off of than just myself. But It took almost an hour to upload a 4-minute video. Muse. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mom mentioned, oh, he can talk. Talk he can do. Your ear off. Yeah, I can talk. So I'm trying to waste a little time, see if maybe Bear gets here fairly quickly. If not, we'll start getting onto the rants without him. Oh, that's and yeah, I can talk. It's no secret that the nickname that I go by, because I'm a junior, the nickname that I go by and have all my life is Buddy. And up until I was probably 10 years old, I thought my real name was Shut Up Buddy. Because that's the way everybody referred to me, was Shut Up Buddy. Of course, it didn't help that I'd rather hang out with the adults than the kids. I always was that way. I could always wanted to hang out at in my day, the adults would come out and hang out around the kitchen table and talk, and the kids would all go off and play. And I always wanted to hang around the kitchen table with the adults and listen to what they were talking to, and chime in when my little self thought it was necessary. Knew it. The last rant should not be that bad. I don't think so, but I know it's a controversial hot button, and we'll see. We'll see. There's been lots of times that I thought that a video that I made was going to tick people off, and didn't really. Pat says, if you need company till he comes, I'm available. Well, I figured I would have offered Pat, but I thought you were probably working. I'll send you an invite. Give me just a second, because y'all know I can't do two things at once. Not really good at that. Well, it depends on what it is. I'm a heck of a short order cook. I can do stuff like that. I can, divide my attention out in that way. But when it comes to reading and stuff like that, yeah, it's hard for me to. But you were old when you were young. Honestly, you're more right than you know. I always preferred being around the adults. Typically, I was the oldest of all the kids because I'm the oldest grandchild on both sides of my family. Yeah, think I didn't get spoiled. But so most of the kids that were hanging around when company would come over would usually be family, and they were normally younger than me. Some of them not so much. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and which brings me to the other thing that has me ticked off today. You've heard me talking about, I'm trying to get my AdSense going so that YouTube actually pays me. Yeah, Mom Minnie. Shut up. Yeah. Yeah, you heard it enough. Like, get out of that. Sit back. Don't touch that. Leave that alone. Get out of the frame. All those sound familiar, sweetheart? But I'm trying to work that out, and I finally gave him my bank account information, the account that I wanted to go in, because I don't want it to go into my checking account. I want it to go into my savings. And so I log in today, and hey, Pat.
Hey, what's going on, huh?
Oh, not too much. You?
I'm doing good right now. It's been a seesaw day for me, like work was good, but it's like, other things, not so much, especially like social media wise.
Yeah, yeah. I get you. I should really not log into Twitter when I'm feeling grumpy anyway. I know better. I know better.
I know, I know, because sometimes, like speaking your mind and things like that, and then people like, like
Yeah, I guess I would be better at it if I was like, some people that thought that Twitter was a viable platform to carry out a conversation or debate. And it's really not. It's a terrible
nah.
place for that. But yeah, I was just talking about, I was trying to deal with my AdSense today.
Mhm.
And so I log in to see if it all took, and it says, well, we're holding your payment because you didn't give us tax information. What? You never asked for it. Okay, well, let's go through and we'll give it.
Mhm.
And I'm filling it out just fine. And then it gets to a part where it wants my first name and then my last name. I put it in there. It denies it. It says it must match my name on file. And then right
What?
there below it, it says what my real name is. I think
What
I know what
the?
my real first name is. And it won't take it for nothing. I even thought I'm a junior. So I thought, okay, maybe it wants junior after my last name because sometimes they want that. You know,
Mhm.
one of the bad things about being a junior or senior or the third or whatever. Oh my gosh, no, won't take it. So I sent him a message with a screenshot saying,
Mhm.
I think I know what my name is. Please help me here. I just want my money.
Mhm.
At least it is showing the correct amount
Mhm.
now, which it hasn't been, but it won't let me have it. Thank you, Batman, for the donation. At least you don't live in the UK, blood. Well, there is
Ooh.
that. And I did see Bear post in the chat there that he'd be along very shortly.
Yeah, he's on his way. Just.
Yeah. All right. So I think I've made it very clear to this point that old Bloodwing's kind of ranty today. But we're going to start off with the softball stuff, and then we'll get to the meatier
Yeah.
subjects as we go
Yeah,
along.
we'll get to the nitty gritty later on.
The first thing that I seen today was Roaming Millennial, and God love her. I got no problem with Roaming Millennial.
Yeah, Roman school people.
But she made a tweet that went something like this: that she had an opinion that the space stuff was taking pictures of that black hole. It was a huge waste of time. Huge waste of time. And of course, people started, are you kidding me? Do you know the technologies that have come out of the space program? And I seen that and I'm like, I wanted to slap my head. And the first thing that come to mind is, oh my gosh, this is what happens when you only read about things in a book or off of a YouTube video and you didn't actually live it.
Mhm.
Because I lived the space race. I didn't read about it in a book or whatever. I was there. And my 9-year-old self watching Neil Armstrong walk on the moon for the first time on the old black and white TV and running in and out. I seriously would run outside, look through my dad's telescope. He had a telescope at the moon, like I was really going to see him on the telescope, and running back in and just thinking, wow, just wow. I mean, you really can't get the sense of the awe we all felt when that happened
Mhm.
if you didn't live through that.
Yeah, which a lot of people, still try to claim as a conspiracy theory and shit like that. They
Oh
they can't get over the fact that it happened.
yeah, I love my mom to death. Of course, she's gone now, but I love my mom to death, and I'm a mama's boy. I'll admit it. I'm a huge mama's boy. But that was the one thing we would argue about. Is she was one of those that felt like it was faked.
Uh,
So we would argue about that from here to next Tuesday all the time. And you just couldn't convince her it wasn't faked. But yeah, I mean, never mind all the stuff that come out of that, all the technologies that stemmed from our, from the space race.
mhm.
Just that accomplishment in and of itself is just mind blowing. And I don't know how you would see that as a waste of time. Random American, yeah. Tang. Hey, we wouldn't have Tang if it weren't for the space race. Or Velcro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would she think like taking pictures of a black hole would be a waste of time? Like, no.
Well, there's absolutely no way to tell what will come of that. It's too early.
Mhm.
I found it very interesting. Um, myself personally. I
Hmm.
found it very interesting, and I thought it was a very cool thing. But who knows what technology or what advancements in research that might come from just that picture? I don't know. You
Hmm.
don't know. None of us know. It's too early to tell.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it's information. It's learning. It teaches us something we didn't know. You
Hmm.
know, we assumed we knew what one looked like. You know, but I don't know. Like I said, this is the softball portion. We're going to start out soft and then and
Yeah.
get harder as we go along.
But
Uh,
like in her mind right now, seeing as her being, very, very young, it may be a waste of time. But it's like by the time she reaches your age, probably like, like, oh damn, that really did turn into a big issue. What was I thinking back then?
yeah, exactly. And it might. And I do take that in mind. Like I said, I got no problem with roaming. No,
Hmm.
no issue with her at all. I think she, like a lot of millennials, put their foot in it based on just being young, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
But
how I am with she on head, like I like her content, stuff like that. And sometimes she'll say stuff I agree with, but a lot of times she can be very bratty.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Mama Minnie says that picture, while a little blurry, was beautiful. Though it resembled the Eye of Sauron to me. Thank you to Batman for the donation. People who didn't live through it never experienced excitement for the future we had back then. Oh my gosh. It was, I mean, I can't explain it, Pat. I
Mhm.
cannot explain it to somebody that didn't. It was, that is the single biggest influential memory from my childhood, bar none. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I was only 9 years old. It was just so amazing that somebody's walking on a planet other than the Earth.
Mhm.
It's just mind blowing. And like I said, I kept going out and looking out I would leave the TV. I mean, I was glued to that TV, the old black and white TV, watching the space
There
ball.
he is.
Hey,
Hello.
Bear.
How's it going? You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm. You all right?
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, it's fine,
Okay.
mate. It's fine. Just late dinner is all.
Had to feed that belly,
Aha.
didn't you?
Yep. Has had some chicken wings and some fries.
Chicken wings. You
Mm.
Ah.
sound like you're a redneck. What are
Oh,
you doing?
that's what I'm serving tomorrow for lunch, man. Fried catfish and lemon peppered hot wings. What ain't
Ooh,
gonna be hot. What ain't gonna be hot wings, but you get me.
that sounds real good. I like both of those fried
Oh yeah.
catfish. You know, I'm not much of a fish eater,
Mm.
but I do like catfish.
Me, like I can catch the hell out of some fish, man. But as far as eating it, I can eat it. It depends on like salmon, tilapia, and all that right there. But like catching it like fresh out of the water, skinning it, and eat it right there, like no, I had a bad experience, and I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
The
I
bone.
mean, I've ate other fish, and I've certainly caught a lot of other fish and ate them. I would generally eat what I would catch if it was big enough,
Hmm.
crappie and bass and, what have you. But if we're talking preference, yeah, I'd rather have catfish. Uh, yeah, Bodacious T. Bear is an honorary redneck.
So how's it going? I heard you guys reminiscing about the space program and all that kind of stuff. What else has been going on?
Well, Blood Rain was reminiscent. That was before my time. I'm an 80s
Yeah, a little
child,
bit
so
before pastime. A little bit. Little bit. No, I explained earlier part of why I'm feeling grumpy today. I just woke up that way to begin with, and
mhm.
then I made the mistake of looking at Twitter while I was feeling grumpy to begin with.
What happened, Bloodbrain? What's ticked you off today?
Well, we'll get to all that. I have 4 topics. This space thing with Roman Millennial was just the first one, and we're going
Then
to
there's the
go into the more
AdSense.
controversial as I go along. And yes, my AdSense ticked me off. Still
Oh,
ticking me off. You know that I've been trying to work that out so I can get paid, right?
yeah.
I log in today because I gave them my bank information. I thought it should be cool. And I log in. It says, well, we're holding your payment because you haven't given us your tax information. Well, excuse me, you didn't ask for it.
Oh
So I
dear.
start giving them my tax information, and it's denying it, saying that my first name must match the name that they have on file. And then they write out the name, and it exactly is my name. I think I know what my first name is. Thank you very much.
Yeah, trying to hold on to them dollars.
Yeah.
Like,
So I took a screenshot of it and sent it to them. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm like, dadgum, man. I just want my money.
So me and Blood, we both having bad days, but it's like,
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
But if we have time later on, I'll explain mine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we've got time now if you want. And we
Well,
haven't really got into the meat of it yet.
like I said, well, my first thing is like, when I made that video about the gymnast chick who broke both her legs
Oh,
and she
yeah.
announced how the retirement and things like that. Well, apparently, a lot of videos have been coming out about her, basically showing that video, and well, she's kind of like, gotten upset about that. She feels like a lot of people are like mocking her and all that right there. So she's basically, been copyrighting anybody who's been showing like the video. So it's like it's been copyright striking people, the blocking the whole entire video and all that right there, so it can't be seen anywhere. But it's very vague though. It's like I'm saying she's copyrighting, like I'm saying, like like YouTubers, like like independent YouTubers like us and all that right there. But news and sports and like doctor channels and all that, that are actually showing like the videos, like for those types of reasons, they're not getting touched. Because I see the Sun right now. The Sun has been up for like 3 days, and they got like 5 million views, and they showed the exact thing from beginning to end. Still up, hasn't been touched. But like videos like mine and like anybody else's who like talked about it and like showed like the video, yeah, we got struck down.
That does make
So
sense.
I'm kind of wondering, like I'm saying, and these are manual takedowns. So it's like she's doing this herself. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna take down one, why don't you just take down all? Why are you being very vague? Like I said, like, but I'm just like, all right, no big whoop. I'll just, like re-edit it and re-upload it without the video and all that right there because it's like, I see it as no big thing. I still wish her a speedy recovery because I know that's got to be really jacked up to suffer that kind of injury and like doing something that you love and now you can't do it no more because of all
Your
that right there.
career's over. You're right.
Yeah, her gymnast career, but like I said, she's an engineer, so it's like she's got she's still got a good backup plan, good head on her shoulders and a great ass major that she's going in. So I wish her the best of luck in that.
Yep.
But my second thing is, of course, I'm on Twitter and I got to see something, oh man, and me, I'm pro-life,
Right.
so I get, so I say something basically about pro-life. I just because somebody showed me like a video, and I think you've seen about the one about the one chick, crazy looking motherfucker. She was crying because like Georgia, they passed that anti-abortion bill, basically saying like the moment you detect a heartbeat and stuff like that, like you can't abort.
Right.
So this female, I mean, she just completely just lost it. Just I'm here crying too, talking about it's my body. If I don't want a baby in my body, I should have a baby in my body. And I'm just sitting right here thinking like, okay, then where was this type of attitude before? You went out there, spread your legs unprotectedly, and got knocked up. It's like if women would have like that mindset right there before they go out there and have sex, then yeah, they wouldn't have to worry about all this right here. Now, excluding all the women who have been like raped and like like molested as a child or teenagers and they end up pregnant. Now, I exclude all those right there. Right. It's like I may not like it, but I understand that situation. But we already know the majority of abortions, are basically, because of irresponsibility.
Yep.
So that was one of my things. So I just basically post they like say like if you're one of these women who don't want, I'm saying, who don't want to like have an unwanted pregnancy or don't want a child and things like that, either use protection, take these precautions, or just keep your fucking legs closed.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that didn't sit well with a lot of people and things like that. Like people like Mims, a bitching witch, and Thorn and all that right there. And I get it, because some think like it's a very complicated issue, but I don't see that much complication from a whole lot of it. It's like basically what it is. It's like to me, abortion these days, stuff like that is just basically, like women just opting out of the responsibility and for whatever reason and all that right there. And like this Georgia anti-abortion bill, kind of an anti-abortion bill, kind of puts that responsibility back onto the female. Like, like if she wants, if she doesn't want to get pregnant and all this stuff right there, now she's got to take that extra precaution. Like, you got to use protection. You got to go get, the birth control pill or the IUD or whatever, like birth control prevention that they got out there. And they got a whole bunch of them. And it's way more cheaper than getting an abortion and shit like that, whether it's coming out of their pocket or it's coming out of our pockets, the taxpayers and all that right there. And that's what a lot of them don't get. But of course, that stirred up a fucking hornet's nest.
Well, I bet it did. I mean, it's no secret. I just don't talk about it like it's no secret that I'm pro-life as well. And my issue with it is, and I think it's pretty much in line with yours, is this being used so much today as a means of birth control, and it shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like how Mr. Dax is saying, like they got like 13 forms of non-surgical contraptions out there. Like I said, the IED, the birth control pill, the birth control shot, the patch, the I'm saying condoms, vasectomies and all that right there. They got all these preventative measures before you even get knocked up.
Yeah. And
they won't take them. They rather get knocked up. I don't want the responsibility. And that's going to cost you it's going to cost the taxpayers, like I'm saying, $1,000, $2,000, depends on the trimester that they're trying to get right there. Just for you to have this abortion for you, 9 times out of 10 to go out there and do it again. Because as they say with the studies, like 92% of these abortions are basically that irresponsibility and unwanted pregnancies. And that's what gets me right there. But nobody want to talk about that. They always want to try to mention that little small front. But what if their condom breaks? What if they didn't take their birth control? What if they were raped and this and that? And I'm like, that's very small compared to that huge, gigantic number of irresponsible people going out there just having fucking sex, thinking that, it can't happen to me.
Yep, I agree with you. You're being awful quiet, Bear.
I'm listening.
You're listening.
But those are my two things right there, So like I say, it's been a crazy Thursday.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. I mean, that's my issue with this. Is being used far too often as a means for birth control. Now, are there situations where where an abortion might be needed? Sure. But like you say, that's pretty small. In comparison to the majority of the abortions go today, and that's whenever you get in the argument with a pro-choice person, it's generally something that they don't want to recognize, is that it's just being used as birth control, and that's what I have an issue with. It's not abortion per se; it's that it's being used as a form of birth control, and it should not.
Yes. And I'm like, they can take these preventative measures, they just don't want to. And it's like now, it's like I'm saying, well, Georgia, like I said, now they're putting the responsibility on women. Like, okay, if you don't want to have these unwanted pregnancies and all that right there, well, you know how you can do right now. But now it's like, we got this bill right here. Okay, if you go out there, you get knocked up and you keep it to the fact where it's like we can detect a heartbeat. You can't say I want an abortion, because hey, it's too late. And I think I seen like somebody saying something like, well, women are finna start committing suicide. I'm like, if you are gonna I don't know. Like if you're gonna start committing suicide simply because you can't kill your child, then there was something wrong with you from the get-go. That's why I say don't stick your dick in crazy.
Well, here's my opinion of that. Then if you feel like you want to commit suicide because you can't have an abortion, then go ahead. Let's clear the gene pool.
Natural selection.
Oh, good Lord. Hey, Bear, can you do me a favor? Can you send Maddie an invite?
Who?
Madwoman Muse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Give us a sec, mate.
All right, because I struggle with doing more than one thing at a time. We'll get a lot of dead air if I go about doing that. It sounds like Pat's had a day similar to mine. I've just been a grumpy day all along. It must be something in the air.
Maybe. Well, besides pollen.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something in the pollen. Shit.
I'm not looking forward to that either. I've suffered with hay fever my entire life.
Ooh-wee, man. And it's
Effing
just
boomer. Yes, I am a
around here.
boomer, and I'm proud of it. I don't know. Well, the next topic that I wanted to cover was the first thing I saw when I opened up Twitter was a conversation about the Southern strategy because of Candace Owens.
Oh,
Now let me be very clear right off the get go. I think Candace Owens is an idiot. Candace Owens.
Oh.
Now, why am I getting feedback? Why am I hearing myself? Okay. Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
I think she's a person, as I've said before, that she's a person that thinks she's smart, but she's not nearly as smart as she thinks she is. And she proves it every time she opens her mouth. I think she's a moron. But
like you said, you know, she's like the right wing AOC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There she goes.
The Southern strategy, in case you don't know, was a supposed strategy that the Republican Party took, particularly during Nixon's administration, to appeal to the racist white men of the South. And you would use keywords, and a lot of it, they would back states' rights, you know, which they were all for in the South and all that, to appeal to that. And, you know, there was some things said, some of it come out that they said, well, we don't need the black vote. You know, if we can just get all the Southern whites on our side, we don't need the black vote and all that. Yeah. And Candace Owens said that didn't happen. And yes, Candace, it did happen.
It did happen.
It did happen. But here's my issue. Why is it such a big deal? I mean, seriously, why is it? That was mostly during the Nixon administration. And the people talking about it on Twitter act like it's an ongoing thing. I looked it up on just to see what Wikipedia would say. And oh my God, Wikipedia. Guys, you do know that anybody can edit Wikipedia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's not a real good source of information if you're not checking the sources.
I've nicknamed Wikipedia GPS. It's a good place to start, but you don't want to swear by it.
Exactly. It's a good place to start your search, but it's not the end all be all, or shouldn't be. They even went so far as to say, well, you know, Reagan was good at it. You know, he used a lot of keywords. He never come out and said anything racist. He just used a lot of keywords, you know. So anytime he said states' rights, we know what he meant. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ, people.
Oh man. You gotta love some folks like
Yes, it happened. Absolutely. I agree with you. Yes, it did happen. Candace Owens is full of crap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't the big deal you're making it out to be. At the same time, the Democratic Party was much more openly racist. I mean, George Wallace. Does that name ring a bell?
Yep.
But don't bring that up to him because you're deflecting. You know, you're trying to muddy the issue. You're being an internet centrist, quote unquote.
Yeah. Remember when it used to be Skeptic TM?
Yeah. Which, of course, I never agreed with that either because I'm not a skeptic. I've never claimed to be. Nor am I a centrist. I am definitely, I've never made any bones about it. I am a conservative. I'm absolutely conservative, and I'm not ashamed of it. You know, I'm not a Republican, but I am a conservative. But the big deal they're making out of it, and yes, it was a policy during the Nixon administration and other parts of our history. But even then, even during Nixon, it was only a small part of the Republican Party that used this as a policy. quite a lot, like Goldwater and so forth, that did not go for that stuff. They would rather hang their hat on the other more important issues. Jeremy 06, but the question is, with Candace Owens bloating, would you smash? No, because I don't stick it in crazy.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think you're
I don't care. I don't care how cute it is. Don't do it.
Hell, I told my son that we had the talk when he was about 11 or 12, me and him. And the talk went, well, you know what you got to do to get a girl pregnant? Yes. You know what's involved? Yes. Okay, well, if you really want to make your mom happy, wait till you get married. But if you can't, put a raincoat on it. And for God's sake, don't stick your dick in crazy.
It may be the best in the world, but no.
Yeah. Here's what I used to tell my daughters. It didn't necessarily work, but I used to tell my daughters to use the aspirin birth control method. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, an aspirin in between your knees.
You put an aspirin between your knees and keep it there, and that'll solve all your problems.
Yep.
I don't know, folks. I don't know. Am I just being overly sensitive to this stuff or what?
No, it's just so much of it on a daily basis that it's like, do you really have I had enough coffee? Is there enough caffeine in my system? Am I in that frame of mind? Do I really want to be on Twitter and see the stupidity today? It's getting that bad.
Well, sometimes I don't know why I'm on Twitter, because like I was telling Pat earlier, I don't feel Twitter is a viable platform for argument and debate. It's just not. So why do it?
We're Twitter masochists. You know, we just gotta get that torture. Like, I know I shouldn't do it. I know as soon as I log in, I'm gonna see something that's gonna make me just go.
Yeah.
But I'm like, folks, I just gotta log in.
Folks, there's bad actors on both sides of the political spectrum. There's bad actors, and it's always been that way, and it will always be that way. It always will, because you're dealing with the human factor. Yeah. But if you point that out, you're being an internet centrist, and you're deflecting the issue. You know, why? People say there's two kinds of people. There's optimists and there's pessimists. Well, I disagree. There's a third type. There's a realist, and that's what I try to be. I try to be a realist, to see things how they really are. Yeah. And in order to do that, you have to realize that there's bad things everywhere.
Yes. Well, it's like I think the third time I logged on to Twitter when I was still writing with Ronan, and I bumped into asinine occasional Cortex's tweet, and the first thing that popped in my head was, why do I have to have Puerto Rican relatives?
see you, Kyler. Have a good day of work, dude. Who you telling? I'm a redneck.
Right.
I don't need to watch Jerry Springer, because that's my life. You know, Bear, I feel like we're leaving you out of this conversation. I know you said you're listening, but
I'm listening, dude. It's
that's very digesting those wings.
It's fine. It's fine.
I've seen Bear argue with people on Twitter. I've seen it happen.
Man.
I'm currently consuming information at a very fast rate, as I'm way behind on a lot of things.
Yeah, Simius, I did see that, and yes, that's who I'm pretty much talking about on the things I'm talking about. And God, I do. Despite myself, I like Sophane.
Yeah,
I do.
What do you do?
Sometimes I just want to smack him in the head and say, "Shut the heck up."
He has cranius insert anus disease every once in a while on Twitter when you see him post something.
I gave him a turn and he liked it. He's a boom fisher. He likes to throw out the dynamite and see what floats to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to excuse me, Bloodwing. I'm just trying to catch up on everything that's gone on whilst I've been focusing on the other channel, and of course binging Tropico 6.
Yeah.
Julian Assange nicked. Brexit's been extended again, or rather delayed.
Yep.
And now lefties are now trying to have a crack at Logan Paul, of all people, because he did a little thing with Alex Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
It took me most of the morning and about an hour to upload it, but there's a 4-minute news video on Assange on my channel.
Which means these motherfuckers are about to make me defend Logan Paul.
Oh, no.
God.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No, I tell you what. I tell you what. I've got to give that man credit, because at least he's trying to expand his horizons. He's trying to do different things other than just screaming at the camera.
Yeah.
You know, doing that typical big YouTuber thing where they start the video going, "Hello, everyone." You know, he's out there trying to do new shit. You know, trying to expand his horizons.
Yeah.
And I realize there's a pun in there somewhere for that and the fucking flat earthers, but but yeah, at least he's trying to get out there and do different things and speak to different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's enough on the. In case, and I know people were seeing the Southern Strategy thing, and a lot of you probably, if you're not Americans, probably didn't know what it was. That's what it was. Yes, it did exist, but it wasn't the big deal they're making it out to be, especially when you consider what the Democrats were up to at the exact same time.
Yep.
So we'll move on. And for this next one, I'll probably need to read an article. I wasn't going to read too much news today because I just wanted to rant. That's just the way I felt today. I just want to rant. Let it load.
Yeah, that's not sounding much bodacious. He said Logan at least seems more sane than Jake. It's not saying much with those two.
Well, that's not really hard to do, is it?
No, he's not. There's a much higher chance that Logan's a sociopath compared to Jake. But yeah.
All right. New York Post front page calls out Representative Ilhan Omar's 9/11 comments. Here's your something. And probably most of you have heard about this already, but I'm going to read it anyway. The New York Post on Thursday hit back at Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, following her recent comments on the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks. The dramatic front page featured an infamous photo of New York City's Twin Towers on fire on the day of the attacks. The towers collapsed after they were hit by hijacked planes. Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the 9/11 attacks. The page read, Representative Ilhan Omar, 9/11 was something people did. And
what?
That's what she said. Here's your something. 2,977 people dead by terrorism. The bottom of the cover read in small captioning, Omar outraged the families of 9/11 victims by referring dismissively to the terrorist attacks while speaking to a Muslim lobbying group. The Post was referring to Omar's recent comments at the Council of American Islamic Relations fundraiser last month, when she called upon other Muslim Americans to make people uncomfortable with their activism. However, another part of the speech surfaced on social media this week in which Omar described their terror attacks perpetrated by Al-Qaeda. CAIR was founded after 9/11, which it was not. It was founded in 1994. Thank you. Because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties, Omar said at the event. Yeah, some people did something, all right.
Yeah.
Her comments prompted a response from Representative Dan Crenshaw, Republican Texas, a former Navy SEAL who lost his right eye after being injured by an IED in Afghanistan. First member of Congress to ever describe terrorists who killed thousands of Americans on 9/11 as some people who did something, Crenshaw wrote in a tweet. Unbelievable. Omar, who became the first Somali American elected to Congress in November, appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Wednesday, where her 9/11 comments were not addressed. Of course they weren't. Stephen Colbert, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
The freshman congresswoman told the host she was still learning after she was accused of making an anti-Semitic remark in February. The whole process really has been one of growth for me, right? She said, I'm learning that everything is not as simple as we might think. As I've said to my constituents and my colleagues, when you tell me that you're pained by something I say, I will always listen and I will acknowledge your pain. And then go on and say it anyway. Because that's what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
I know that on this stream we pick at her an awful lot, deservedly so.
She has a chronic case of foot and mouth disease.
And now she's blaming it on, well, you know, she was not born here. She's an immigrant from Somalia. And she's blaming it, well, you know, I wasn't around, so I don't know all that. And so that's why I'm learning. You think maybe you might want to have done that before you run for Congress?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to go off on a little rant here. Because some of you are young and you may not remember. I remember exactly where I was when the planes hit the towers.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work.
I was at work at a car dealership, and one of the customers come out of the waiting room. I worked in the service department. They come out of the waiting room. They were pale and shaking and saying, a plane just hit the Twin Towers.
I was on lunch break at a friend's house, and she invited me over there for lunch. She had lunch waiting for me, had, you know, that hour lunch break. I walk in, I'm looking at the TV, I'm seeing what's happening. She is frantic on the phone because 4 of her relatives worked in the Twin Towers. Yeah. 4. She couldn't get a hold of any of them. She turned around, she apologized for, you know, lunch being shit. And I said, look, your family's more important. I'll just sit. I hope you get a hold of them. What had happened to 2 of them? 2 of them had forgotten their keys and couldn't find them in the house. One's car died on the way, and the 4th one got stuck on the subway.
Yeah.
I walked into the waiting room where the TV was on. And just the moment I walked in, the second plane hit. I seen it live.
Yep.
I came home from school when the second plane hit, I think.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was at work, and like I said, yeah, this was doing like the lunchtime, man, like lunch hour. But it's like me, I'm saying all our employees, customers, and everybody was glued to the TV when that was happening right there. Nobody cared about food, nobody cared about service or nothing like that. We were all glued to the TV, and we're just like, oh my God, like
this was a very, very busy day for us. The waiting room was full, packed.
And we
people
were
of all colors, races, faiths, political ideologies, and we're all just speechless and in tears.
Yeah, we were pissed off.
And for the next week, probably, and we were a very busy dealership on a very busy side of town. We had 0 business. Nobody showed up. It was a ghost town.
Yeah.
It was this was one of the events that if you witnessed it, if you were alive then, you will never forget.
Yeah.
It's not just some people done something.
Yeah.
I mean, how oblivious to where you are do you have to be? This was a major event in America, and it didn't matter if you were Republican or Democrat. It had a huge effect on you.
Yeah.
How blind do you have to be to make that statement?
I'm like, man, and can you imagine she made that statement actually in New York?
Oh,
she would have been drummed out of New York.
Man.
Yeah, no. No. You know, it's like, yeah, saying that just happened would be like the whole Elian Gonzalez situation was somebody did something. What was it? The Davidian compound was somebody doing something. These are major events. These aren't just something, you know. This impacts people's lives. It is those singular moments that you can answer when somebody goes, well, where were you when X happened? I was here doing this and this happened. I saw this.
Nutt says it wrecked America's spirit temporarily. And that is absolutely correct. We were dumbfounded. No one knew how to react. We didn't know what we were going to do. You got to understand, folks, that America had never been attacked on that scale ever. Never.
Yeah, no, we hadn't.
And everybody was just in a state of mourning. The entire nation, regardless of your color, regardless of your ideologies, of your political beliefs, it didn't matter.
Yeah. I remember that day. I remember watching the second plane hitting. I remember the tower collapsing. And I remember being pissed off at Dan Rather because he kept asking where President Bush was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you of all people being a journalist should know where the fuck the president is. He's with the Secret Service and he's safe because a major catastrophe is happening and they're not going to put him in the middle of any of the shit. If I know this, I'll be damned if you don't know this, you dumbass.
No. But that's not journalist for you.
I seen that, and you know, I'm not her biggest fan anyway, granted, but I seen that. I'm like, how oblivious, how blind to your surroundings do you have to be? How out of touch do you have to be to make that kind of comment? Now, no doubt she was speaking to her audience. That CAIR, which started in 94, not after 9/11, thank you, as she said it did, but it's been named by Saudi Arabia as a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
So she was speaking to her audience, no doubt about it. Hold on a second here.
It's her, it's AOC, and it's that other one.
Talib.
Thank you.
Bear says he's going to the store. He'll be right back.
Okay. They're I call them the axis of stupidity.
Yeah, it's like every time Talib says something, the first thing that comes up my mind, like big nose heifer.
You know, I don't care that she's Muslim. I really don't. I don't care. I'm not big on identity politics. You know, I don't think people should be identified by their religion or their race or whatever. You know,
it's what they say that works my nerves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I saw that and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And since, and what I didn't read in the article didn't address, she's now she can't believe it that she's being called out on it, and claims that people that are calling her out on it are inciting racial hatred and violence.
Right. Okay. Because you know that's the usual fallback when people are criticizing something. Oh my God, like I said something stupid, like people don't like me. It must be because I'm female and Cuban. Okay, because it can't because it was dumb.
Like, you know, I kind of sort of get it with AOC. I mean, you know, she's New York and all that, and New York is historically extremely blue, but Omar is Minnesota. How long before those people say, you know, maybe we should think about recalling her?
Yeah, right. Right? Because I know my parents aren't happy. They live in Minnesota, and I know they didn't vote for her. I know they didn't vote for her, and I know they're pissed off right now. And, you know, I know if I were to ask them, the first words out of my mother's mouth would go, don't mention that bitch to me. That'd probably be the first response I would get.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
But oh my God, this, and you know this ain't gonna this ain't gonna be the last dumbass thing she say right there. It's like like how long before she open up her mouth and say something again before you like woman out to snatch that towel off your damn head.
Yeah, she doesn't stop. Like with the anti-Semitic stuff, she was called out on it, and then she just doubled down and kept going. You know, oh, good Lord. Democratic Party, you know, I've got nothing to do with you. I've got no dog in your fight. I'm not a Democrat, never have been, never will be. But come on, if you guys don't get a handle on Talib and on AOC and on Omar, 2020 is going to be another bad year for you.
It ain't just them. It ain't just them three, man. They presidential nominees. Yeah, they ain't so goddamn bright themselves and shit like that. Because
Pocahontas is just as bad. Gillibrand virtue signaling. I mean, it's an epidemic. It's an fucking demic. Because I remember I quote tweeted something that Gillibrand said the other day. I said, I never thought anybody could stick their head that far up their ass. Have you reached colon yet? Literally, that's what I tweeted.
That's it.
RJ Bones, who are you recording snoring? Yeah, it's getting pretty. Mayor Pete, you know who I'm talking about? That's running for president is a mayor here in Indiana, and calling out our vice president, who was the governor of Indiana. You know, because you know, Mayor Pete's gay, and Pence, you know, because of his beliefs, believes that that's a choice, not that you're born that way. And although he's never done anything, but he's been going back and forth with Pence lately, which they got along when he was governor. But now that he's vice president, you know, got to get that fame, and you know, got to get out there and get people to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's just a tactic just to be seen.
You know, whether or not you agree with Pence's take on gays or not, he's not done anything or any policy against them.
No,
he's welcome to his beliefs.
You know, it's like I remember people still think that he's weird because he refuses to be anywhere alone with a woman that is not his wife. I'm like, first of all, I gotta commend him for that just on principle. Second of all, because of today's fucking hashtag Me Too climate, way to go. I don't blame you for not being in a room with a woman that isn't your wife by yourself.
I'm saying, like right now, shoot, the dude got 12 years, man. He even touched the girl.
You know,
he touched her, but shit, you know, like he didn't, you know.
Way long time ago, when I first got married, my mom gave me a piece of advice that I've always followed. She said, son, it don't matter whether you're innocent or not. Don't put yourself in a position where it might look like you're guilty. You know, so don't put yourself in it. Don't sit by yourself with you know, when you're married with another woman or whatever, because it looks bad.
And he said, she said, oh man, don't let it come down to that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. You guys aren't normal guests, but since Bear has went off to the store, you're going to have to carry my stream for a few minutes while I go to the bathroom. So whoever went 1 hour or close to it, you're the winners. I'll be right back.
Yeah, see, and like how Irate Bear will basically say, you know, like the stream, you know, and if you can, like I'm saying, you know, like the screen, you know, god damn, what the fuck was that? What is
there's 82 of you people watching, there's only 30 likes and 1 dislike. Yeah. What's wrong with this picture? Come on, people.
Smash, crush, backhand, pimp slap that like button.
This is Papa.
Also, like I said, you know, throw some money towards the old man, you know, hit up the stream glad, you know, stargazing nuts, you know, she's throwing everything down the big up star right there, you know, like there, I'm saying do everything you can, you know, and share wherever you can, man, Twitter, Facebook, whatever your social media is, you know, show some love. It's Bloodwing, y'all.
Yep, it's Papa. It's the Papa of the internet.
Oh yeah.
We gotta help out Papa.
It's not as great as Irate Bears, but I tried, Bear. I tried.
We're not all good pitchmen.
So how you been doing? Good, man.
It's nice to have an apartment and a kitchen and a bathroom. We have 2 of those, so we can go to the bathroom at the same time and not have to wait.
Oh yeah, the 2 bathroom things. Oh yeah, that works out just fine. Especially
Yes.
when you really gotta go and the other person just taking their sweet time. Like if you don't get up out of this bathroom, it's gonna be two of us because I want to break down this door. I gotta go.
Yeah, I know, right? I got the first time we went out walking to explore, I saw the smile on Ronan's face because the only thing he told me about the apartment is it had to be less than $12 one way by Lyft to get to his work. I'm like, okay, those are the parameters. I got this shit. We are half a mile from like everything.
All right.
We can walk to everything. He went, holy crap,
Oh,
is that a family
it's a
dollar?
walking distance just in case.
Mm-hmm. He's
So
like,
yeah, that does help.
Yeah, fast food restaurants, smokehouses. We're close to a Family Dollar, two different dentists and optometrists. Oh yeah, and a Walmart.
All right,
And
so
a
you back out.
Walmart, you got it
You
made
back out
then.
right there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
Okay, there he is. Like I tried to do your shilling for a blood wing when he left to go to the bathroom, but I fucked it up big time. So it's like if you wanna do it right now, man, it could save.
Do what?
Like you do, like I'm saying, like the stream, like hit the old man up for some years.
Oh,
All
okay.
that right there,
Yeah.
I can't do it like you, but it's like I tried. Nah, I screwed it up.
Like the fucking stream, you bunch of animals.
There you go. Hey, 82 people watching, 43 likes, 2 dislikes. We can do better than that. Come on.
Come on,
Yeah.
now.
We
Come
talk
on.
about.
Don't
And I
make me
can
break
only-
out my Valley Girl voice again.
I can only backhand it once.
Do it.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so the one of the worst periods in American history, one of the biggest moments of grief that ever was, the people will never forget, is just something that someone did. And like I started to say earlier, I have no doubt that she was talking to her audience and probably didn't think that little audio clip would get out because it's not what she released on her Twitter.
And these are people that should know that anything in the media nowadays is inevitably going to land on the internet.
Oh yeah. And even if you delete it, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So now that brings us to the fourth one, and this is the one I'm nervous about. I'm seriously a little nervous about this because I'm probably going to lose some of you on this one. It's not going to be a popular opinion. It's Julian Assange.
Yeah.
Folks, do what?
What about him?
Well, his arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And of course, since his arrest, we get a lot of comments about Julian. Oh, we can't have this. This is an affront to free speech. This is folks, this may be unpopular, but Julian Assange is not a hero.
No, he's not.
He's not a hero. He's not even a journalist. He ran a website which was a dump for leaks.
Yeah. Yep. I did like a 4-part thread on Twitter, and the only thing I got in response was, I don't really care about nuance in this situation. Manning was released. Assange should be as well, period.
Now, you probably aren't going to agree with me, but here's the thing. I have no problem with whistleblowers. I think they're necessary. That's why we have laws in this country protecting whistleblowers within within companies and so forth, that blow the whistle on a company and their jobs and so forth are protected. We have laws that protect whistleblowers. I have no problem with that. And I have no problem with Assange running a site that leaks stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But the question right now, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, what they're seeking him for is a breaking of the law, trying to break into government computers.
The DOD computer, to be exact. The allegation against him as it stands is that Manning had talked to him and asked him if he could help her crack the password for the DOD computer to get into the classified communications for the DOD.
And let's be honest, guys. You know, laws are the law, and it doesn't matter whether I like you or not. That's not the question. I've got nothing personally against Julian Assange. I don't think he's the hero of free speech that everybody's holding him up to be. That's my personal opinion, but I got nothing against him. But if he broke the law, he broke the freaking law.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's not going to be popular with some of y'all, but that's my opinion.
No matter how much you might agree with what he did and things like that, you know, the law is still the law.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think the nuance she was talking about, in my opinion, was the fact that I said, I'm afraid I will not have the popular opinion here. Now that I know that, you know, Papa and I agree of Assange. If he obtained the information legally and it was not classified, then I would be on board with freeing him and think this is egregious.
Yeah, faithless is, does anyone believe Manning on their word, though? I don't know. I don't know what to believe. But let's find out. Let's figure it out. Let's take this to trial.
Yeah, I said his Hillary email leaks were of information on a private server. This means she had sensitive information on a server that she could not ensure the security of to prevent leaks. Manning, having given the military logs to Assange, violated the law by giving classified military information to a civilian. By accepting this information, Assange made himself an accomplice. I am by no means defending any deplorable behavior the military may have committed. I am just saying he broke laws of our country and should be held accountable. Whether you like him or not, hacking is also illegal.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that people are losing sight of. I believe the year was 2010. Guess who was president then?
Obama. Yeah.
And he's the one that instituted this whole thing to get Assange. Not Trump.
But don't mention that.
You know, and Deck Train, I, you know, like I said, I've got no problem with whistleblowers, and I got no problem with transparency. But what I do have a problem with is breaking the law to get that.
Yeah. Because if in breaking that law, you find information that can actually put people's lives in danger, like somebody actually did. I know it wasn't Assange. It was that Snowden dude or whatever.
Yeah. Then
you're no hero. In any definition of the word. You're putting people in danger. That's not heroic. You know, hacking into a government computer to get classified stuff, that's illegal. I'm sorry. I can't get behind somebody that does that.
Like I said, I got nothing personally against him. I think whistleblowers are necessary. They're a necessary evil, if you will. I don't think this is a blow against journalism and freedom of the press because he's not a journalist. I don't know. What do you think, Bear?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I knew the chat would get a little bit triggered if you said that.
Yeah. And I knew they would too. That's why I was nervous about it. But you know, I got to be me. I got to be who I am. I can't be anybody else. Yeah. Don't let anybody ever say that I just cater to what you all want to hear. Mm-hmm. You know, which is what we get accused of all the time, of course.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Papa is referring to Assange as the whistleblower MC. I think he knew it was Manning.
Yeah. Absolutely. Assange just ran a website where this stuff was dumped.
Yeah.
That's not journalism.
So some of the chat seems a little bit annoyed by what you said, but that's perfectly fine. We can all disagree here.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I said up front before you arrived, when the stream started. I hope that you can understand that we can all disagree and still get along. We can still be friends.
Yep.
Faithless saying he is not a journalist is semantics. Not really. What did he do that was journalism? And no, I agree with you. CNN are not journalists either. There are very few journalists left today.
They're commentators.
It's opinion. It's all, and I'm throwing Fox News in right in there with the rest of them.
Yeah. Don't you just hate it when you say you don't like CNN or CNBC or PSMS NBC or whatever, and they're like, oh, so you must be one of those faux news people. No. Just because I don't like very liberal leaning outlets doesn't mean I am blind enough to believe everything that comes out of, a Fox News commentator. Because that's all they are. They're commentators. They're not reporters.
Right.
And I can understand that they were just like, I'm saying, liberal leaning and things like that. But no, they are far. They're in the libtard zone.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts. You're absolutely right. If we all agree, and I've said this many times, if we always agreed on everything, it'd be pretty boring around here.
Oh yeah.
But but here's the thing. I don't know whether their allegations against him are true or not. I don't. But we're not going to know unless it's taken to trial, and we see what shakes out. What I'm saying is, calm down, people. This may not be the big blow to journalism and to free speech that you think it is. Let's see what shakes out first.
I mean, all this would have been avoided if, from what I read and all my sources that I read through, that if he would not have bitten the hand that fed him, he'd still have asylum.
Yeah.
He was getting told repeatedly not to meddle in the affairs of other states, of other countries, of other governments, and he kept doing it, including the Vatican.
Bandsman Thoughts on Dry want me to fire Candace Owens out of a human-sized cannon. That would be hilarious. I'd actually pay to see that.
Yeah, me too.
That would be hilarious. With or without a helmet?
I don't think it would matter at this point.
Of
course, without might readjust the cerebrum.
But yeah, I don't know, chat. I know and I can see that some of you are disagreeing with me. But hope you still love me.
Yeah.
Just because I hold this opinion, but we get accused all the time of just catering to our audience, just telling them what they want to hear.
Oh my God, yeah.
My video on knife crime is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Just go look at the comment section.
Oh, I was told by a couple of people on Twitter when they said, oh, you keep going after AOC. I never see you call out Trump. Excuse me. Do you read my blog? Do you watch my videos? Do you actually follow me on Twitter?
Jack Gunsey, disagreement is fine as long as you're not a commie. Oh, I'm the farthest thing from a commie you can get. MC and Bloodwing goes for the adorable ploy. Of course. Did it work? Did it work?
You're Papa. Nobody can be mad at you for long.
Love me and I'll bet my eyes at me and send you pictures of puppies. But yeah, I don't know. But that's what's been on my mind today. And since this is a rant stream, here's a chance for anybody else Pat already has some. Anybody else is in the stream to bring up something they just want to rant about. How about it?
I'm still mad that I'm having to defend Logan Paul.
I know, right? It's like I feel when I feel like I've got to defend Nancy Pelosi for at least having some common sense to call out those three idiots.
Oh yeah. When you find yourself defending her, you're like, wait a minute. When did we get flipped into a different dimension? Because, and the one person that has been consistent, I think, up to this point has been Pocahontas. I love her so much I can't remember her real name anymore. But, because her timeline is filled with all sorts, and I'm like, woman, you're just showing people how senile you are.
I am far more Native American than she is. My great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee Indian. So I don't have a lot of blood in me, but I'm far more Native American than she is.
As far as her, like I said, she done sweated hers out.
Yeah. Elizabeth Warren, thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, constantly stupid. If you go to her time, I swear to God, I avoid her timeline on purpose because I know after 3 tweets, I can feel brain cells dying.
And that's the wild part. I don't even follow her, but I think it's just people who I follow that follow her and things like that. That's how stuff pops up on my feed.
Yep.
Because it does the same thing with Rent and Feminist, and I'm like, who's the nut job that's following this dumb knowing I can't? And I can tell too because it'll say such and such retweeted 1 ton hammer. I'm gonna get you for this.
Like
Can we talk about Brexit? Because I need to get up to date.
Absolutely. Anything you need to get off your chest, this is the stream to do it. It's the rant stream. Do it.
They still ain't broke away, have they?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Theresa May is a massive cunt.
Don't hold back, Bear. It's bad.
Why is this so fucking hard? She's Theresa the fucking appeaser trying to suck off the fucking EU. This is the problem when we have a fucking Remainer as the Prime Minister trying to take us through fucking Brexit. David Cameron is a cunt for fucking selecting her and doing a fucking runner. And that old slut has decided to try and extend it again. I'm going to read this article to you. I'm going to read this fucking article.
Read away.
Brexit. May awaits EU Brexit extension decision because obviously, remember, guys, we can't do anything with that. The EU's permission, because that's the problem with being a part of the fucking EU. We're beholden to them. We're a law taker. The once most powerful nation on the fucking planet that had an empire that spanned a quarter of the world. The sun would not set on it. Is now a fucking bitch to a bunch of Eurocratic twats. Theresa
Don't hold
May
back there. It's bad for you.
I'm not going to hold back. Theresa May is waiting to hear the decision of the other 27 cunts. I mean, EU leaders who are discussing her request for a short delay to Brexit, meaning that the delays are just never going to fucking end, are they? We end up just staying in there because we're just sick to fucking death of it. The Prime Minister wants to move the UK's exit date from Friday to 30th of June, but leaders are split over the length of the delay. Reuters reports that the French president told the summit a delay before 30th of June would jeopardize the EU. So the French aren't happy about the idea of an extension, and we may end up relying on the French to veto this. We'll see how it goes. A no-deal Brexit was not the worst option, and the EU would run a higher risk if the UK obstructed EU operations, a French official is reported to have said. Good. Let's get the fuck out. I don't give a shit about EU operations. I care about British operations, motherfucker. A prime minister spoke for... Because our fucking prime ministers, not prime ministers, our MPs are so terrified at the concept of a fucking hard Brexit. They think the entire country will just fall to pieces, as if we couldn't stand on our fucking own. Are you taking the piss?
You guys stood on your own for hundreds of years.
We have the 5th largest economy on the planet, and we're a tiny island. What the fuck does that tell you about?
And I'll guarantee you what, because I know for a fact that Trump is pro-Brexit. You will have America's business.
You know, I got into a big argument with a massive Remain tard the other day, right? On Twitter. And I was like, oh, yeah, Trump's going to offer us a few trade deals, you know, so it won't be that bad. And he went, chlorinated chicken. I went, really, dude? That's your argument? Chlorinated chicken?
I need that as a soundbite. I need it on my phone as a ringtone. Chlorinated chicken.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We'll just overturn a democratic vote. We'll overturn 17.4 million votes in a referendum to leave the European Union because of chlorinated chicken.
Oh,
I know the Americans are a bit weird when it comes to food and stuff, but that's not a reason to fucking stop a trade deal or leaving the EU. That's the most retarded argument I've ever heard in my life.
It is pretty
If
hard.
anything,
Oh my god!
Fuck's sake. I'll continue reading. All the leaders have spoken and had a break, and now they will now each speak for a second time. By the way, whoever's writing this article for the BBC needs to get fired. This is me and my level of English calling them out. The EU member states have to reach a unanimous decision by law. Yes, they do. If one of them and it takes one of them to veto this decision. Earlier, Mrs. May said she regretted that the UK had not already left, adding that she had been clear. Well, maybe you should have made a better plan, you old hag, with the EU, that she was only seeking a short delay to Brexit.
short.
What?
Shit, this how long this thing has been going on?
It's been going on for a little bit longer than that, really. Nearly 3 years. It took that old bag to come up with the worst deal ever written, for it to be refused multiple times in the Houses of Parliament, in the House in the House of Commons by our MPs, because it literally pisses everybody off. She's so dense and just will not move on anything. But because why not just turn us into a vassal state of the EU instead? Yeah, that sounds cushy, mate. Keep us tied and shackled to the friggin' customs union.
This needs to be your all 1776, Bear. Serious.
I'll tell you what, it's already started to get violent, and I can see it happening even more. It's getting violent right in this tiny room that I'm sat in right now. Head of the summit, European Council President Donald Tusk said neither side should be allowed to feel humiliated. Yeah, cheers for that. And urged the other 27 leaders to back a flexible extension for up to a year. No! Mrs. May said the UK could leave the EU whenever a deal was ratified by Parliament, which is never going to fucking happen, is it? Because they can't agree on anything. Meaning the exit date could be by 22nd of May, the day before the European Parliament elections. Let's just go. Let's just fucking leave. If we don't leave now, it's just going to be constant extension after extension. And I guarantee we'll end up with another friggin' referendum.
Yeah, Bodacious T, I'm well aware the Magna Carta was written well before 1776. That was a reference to the American Revolution. For you non-Americans that didn't get it.
Lee, like I said, I hardly knew anything about Brexit until that naked bitch came out, and I'm like, God damn, can you just?
You can't tell me she doesn't.
Can you?
You can't tell me that she just doesn't want to go around naked. That's her issue.
Like, yeah, can you please just leave for that sake and then leave? You know what I'm saying? Leave that one behind. Yeah, let us out with no deal, and we'll give you the hairy naked bitch.
I thought you were going to give us chlorinated chicken, but
no, don't get your hands off my chicken.
I don't understand why we just can't have a World Trade Organization Brexit where we go out, we set up trade deals with America, the rest of the Commonwealth, Australia, Canada, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure that we'd be better off for it. You have any idea how much money we put into the EU just to be a part of the club? It's ridiculous amount. If I'll get the number, it's in the billions. How much is EU membership? Get it for you now. £350 million a week. That's £19 billion a year to be a part of the club. So that we can have a seat at the table and trade with the world's most stagnant market. That's what you get. That's what you get.
I just gotta read this furry kitten. The problem with the whole 1776 is there's no way Brits will throw tea into the harbor unless they have a giant biscuit to soak it up with.
Well, the actual number is 13 billion, because the EU will give us what is it called when you get money back on tax? I forget. Rebate. Yeah, we get a rebate on it. So we're paying £13 billion a year. But how nice of the European Union to give us some of our money back.
I feel you, but I mean, I'm laughing because I'm laughing at your reaction. But you and I have talked about before. I can feel you. I can't imagine, as an American, I can't imagine owing your allegiance to something other than your country. It just
globalism is the way forward.
No, it's not. It's just not. Is all the countries getting along? Yeah. But this isn't Star Trek, folks. It's real life. There's not going to be any such thing as a global economy and global government. It's just, there's just too many people with too many points of view. I just don't see it happening.
It's insane.
I still remember way back, the first time Obama ran and everything. And my mom, I love my mom, so many different reasons. She calls me and she said, "Please tell me you're not voting for that idiot." I knew which idiot she was talking about. And I said, I know you don't want me to vote for Obama. She goes, "No, because I will disown your ass because we left Cuba to get away from that shit, not vote a motherfucker in that wants to turn this into a socialist state."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I wasn't going to vote for him." She goes, "Oh, good. Okay, we raised you right." And she hung up.
Barry, I feel for you, dude. I really do.
It's like I voted for Obama the first time, but not the second.
I did too, Pat. I'll be honest with you. It's the one and only time I've ever voted Democrat for president.
There's another cunt and all. Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him, because the way the British media portrayed him for a very long time was as this positive, suave, down with the kids kind of guy. So I never really paid attention to him until he came over here and threatened us over Brexit.
Yeah. I mean, as far as, if I were to bump into him on the street, never having known that he was president or anything like that, or him never having been president, I could probably have a beer with the guy.
That's exactly the way I felt about him. Exactly.
But when it comes to his political stance, it's like, just come here while I'm just having my hand flat waist, waving back and forth, and let me slap you across the face a couple of times because you're stupid.
And can we say this? Can we say, and I say this as the grandparent of 8 biracial grandchildren out of 10. He's not the first black president. He's the first biracial president.
Yep, he is. But apparently, when you're a certain type of dog, they overlook the mixed part, so he was black.
The white part didn't matter.
Right.
It's always stuck. I know it's a small issue, but it's always stuck in my craw. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. It's like everybody with half a brain knew that he was mixed, but he's like, well, he's our first black president. No, he's not. Know the difference. You want your first black president, then elect a black person, not Obama.
Yeah, he's mixed. He was raised by his mother, who is white.
Yeah.
In other words, he was close enough.
Yeah.
kind of like Clinton was back in the time.
Don't even get me started on Beto. Don't even get me started on that Latino wannabe backwards ass son of a who likes to dance on prep surfaces in restaurants and make me cringe. I just no. This new breed of young politician is just, did you take your brain out? Did you put it somewhere and forget where you put it? Is that what happened? Is that why you're so stupid? Did you take your brain out? Was it removable? Were you born with a removable part? And was that part your brain? Did you put it somewhere and misplace it? Because you need to find your brain, you need to put it back in your head, and you need to start talking sense.
Sean DW175, I rate Bear for our first black president. Well,
black enough.
He's biracial as well, and he wasn't born here, so he can't run.
Yeah.
But if I did become an American citizen, I could be a governor, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could. I'm pretty sure you can be in any political office except for president.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd just do it just to go slap AOC, to be honest.
You know, that's the biggest reason that I don't think he talked about it much, but that's the biggest reason that Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't run for president, because he can't. He was born in Austria.
Well, it's like if I would have, if I could just imagine if I would have ran and people were like, oh, well, it's a woman, it's a white woman. Excuse me, it's a Latina that was born here. You can shut up over there because I have plenty of shit to throw. That's standing right behind me. I ain't afraid to throw shit. Go ahead.
Like, oh yeah, that's Latino, right?
Hey, Monk, good to see you. I haven't seen you around for a while.
Shit.
So do you have anything else, or you want to continue to rant about that, Bear?
What else has been going on? What else has been going on? Because I've not really been paying much attention to anything. Oh yeah, fuck YouTube. For a quick second. Yesterday, right? I uploaded a video to Irate Alex, and it was a response video to Prank Invasion. And if you don't know who Prank Invasion are, they're a prank channel. Imagine my shock. And the guy who does it, he does a lot of quote unquote kissing pranks. And in other words, he goes out and he hires actresses, pretends he doesn't know them, and then plays like a little game. They always lose the little game that they play, like something like rock, paper, scissors, and he gets the neck off with them. And I did a response video to that, and it was basically him kissing his sister. And in the video, he said half sister. Now, obviously, half sister, we all know that means by blood, and stepsisters by marriage. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But of course, YouTube chose to demonetize the video, which is very rare to happen on my second channel. And then about an hour after uploading that video, my video talking about the petition to remove PewDiePie from the platform was hit by the bot after it got all of its views. When is this bot going to finish learning?
I don't know. I think it's retarded.
When did the apocalypse happen? 2016?
It's slow. It's slow.
That bot has been learning for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When's it going to learn?
It's so stupid.
That's an interesting headline.
And the thing is, when you get hit by that yellow symbol, especially when you first put the video out, it takes a dip in views. So it makes growing a channel very difficult.
And yes, folks, you can contest it and all that, and you can win, and they'll remonetize it. But by that point, you've already got all the views you're going to get on that video.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always the case with it. I've had videos that were monetized and then did really well afterwards and stuff. It's just a pain in the ass, man, because with the main channel, Irate Bear, I'm nearly at 40,000 subs. You can request a review, even if you have no views on the video, as long as it's unlisted. If you have over 10,000 subscribers or something like that, and it will get reviewed within 2 or 3 days, which is longer than what it used to friggin' take. But if you're a smaller channel, like my second channel, which has under 5,000 subscribers, it's not, I could upload the video and then try to trigger the bot, which doesn't happen a lot on that channel anyway. But, I could try to trigger the bot and then request review, but it won't get reviewed.
Right.
Yeah. Bear, you're aware of this and so forth. A couple of years ago, football season, American football, NFL season before last, I had a live stream every week that was nothing but football. And I made it very clear, we are not going to talk politics on this live stream. It's football and football only. That's
right.
It. That live stream got demonetized the second it uploaded every freaking week.
Wow.
It's like they just live to just demonetize whoever the fuck they don't like.
Yeah. It's like, what? Why are you demonetizing me? What I do?
Playing by the rules and still.
It's like I gave up a long time ago trying to monetize any of my news videos because I know I don't think the way they want me to think, and so I am never going to get monetized. So I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, I
And
told
I
them
know
straight up, I don't want their money.
you know, and every once with my new channel that I'm starting up and I'm having a little fun with, I know every once in a while there's going to be something, but that one can't get monetized anyway because all of them are linked to the same. Apparently, you can only have a certain amount of channels linked to the same phone number, and I'm too lazy to do another account. Yeah, I said it. Yes. So I'm just leaving it demonetized and just running on donations and stuff because. But it gets to the point where you're like, what did I say? How did I say? What are you smoking, and can I have some so I can figure out what it is I'm doing wrong so you guys can monetize me? What drugs are you on? And do I really, can you share? Just slide some over here because whatever you're having sounds pretty good since you think everything sounds horrible.
I already know what I'll be saying, and they don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
In all honesty, though, this channel just recently got remonetized after they snatched it away from my greedy little fingers.
Yeah,
because of the rule changes, which sucked. But I honestly don't care if they demonetize me again. I don't, because I can fall back on Streamlabs and whatever, which actually is preferable. It's not that I don't appreciate the super chats, because I do. I appreciate them. Anybody that helps me out in any way, shape, or form, I appreciate. But some of you may not realize that YouTube takes 30% of that right off the top. Just
yeah.
And they only pay out once a month. With Streamlabs, I have instant access to that money when I need it. So I'm really not that concerned on whether they demonetize me, because the money that we make off the ad revenue is just cents. It's just literally just cents on the dollar.
Yeah, this I realize there may be a few people in the chat thinking, "Oh, Bear and Bloodwing and Maddie and Pat, they just want money. They're only doing it for money." Well, first of all, shut up, communist. And second of all, monetization is the key to growth on the platform. I mean, you can be, when you first start out, you absolutely can grow without monetization. It is very much possible. And there are some channels out there, like Sticks, for example, who isn't monetized, and they do just fine. They do just fine. But it does help if you have monetization activated. And the thing is that the game theorists like MatPat, and I saw somebody else say this yesterday. The second your video gets hit by that bot, all your views just drop, just down. So it makes it extremely difficult for a creator to grow there in that way.
Yeah,
it's probably better to just not monetize at that point, really.
Here's the thing, and Bear, better than anyone else how hard it was to talk me in to even getting a Streamlabs or anything else, anywhere where anybody could give me any money.
So stubborn. You're worse than Theresa May for stubbornness.
Oh, well, I'll admit to that. I'm stubborn, and I still have internal issues with it once in a while. All I'm saying is, if you want to help me out, if that's what you want to do, if you don't, that's fine. That we're all good. We're all friends here. You don't have to give me money for me to be friends and to like you and to be a subscriber.
It would
I appreciate you all. But if you want to help me out, Streamlabs is a better way to do so.
Yeah.
As far as if you're wanting to help me out monetarily. I understand the super chats, and I will take every super chat you all want to hand out to me.
As soon as you get your problem fixed and they actually give you the money.
But yeah, like right now, Bear, how will they contact me? Will it be on AdSense, or will it be an email? Do you have any idea? Because while we were talking, I tried to put it through again, and it's still telling me that that's not my name.
I don't know, man. It could be different for Brits as it were for PayPal, mate. Remember, I don't know.
I just, so here you got, that's the other thing. YouTube doesn't even want me to have my money.
Bloodwing, after the stream, we'll take a look at your AdSense, mate. Sorry, Maddie, carry on.
Okay.
I mean, it's when you see a lot of these bigger channels, and what gets me is you got two types of big channels. The ones that, keep going the way they're going, they create the content and everybody goes to it. And then the ones that really grate my nerves when they go, well, the only reason I do this is because I was making money and now I'm demonetized. So I'm not going to make any content anymore unless you guys go to my Patreon or unless you guys go here and like crowdfund me and unless you guys do this. And okay, excuse me. Rule number 1 of any business, no matter what type of business you have, don't put all your eggs in one fucking basket.
Oh, speaking of which, I heard about this by Monkey and Monday Matt. That what's that female name? The girl that just lost the Instagram and shit like that, and she made a video balling her ass off.
I've seen her face in my subscription feed today.
Jesse something, but it's like
yeah,
Monkey was talking about her this morning. And that's exactly what it was with her. It's like, you know, she's one of these influencers, who basically like her biggest thing wasn't on YouTube or Twitter and things like that. It was her Instagram where she had like over 100K followers, in which that's a good feat right there. But in this world that we know right there, you know, 100,000 here, that ain't jack, you know. So that was her biggest thing. That was the biggest bread and butter right there. So she lost the whole entire thing, and she has just been losing her shit. Like, you know, like.
Random Americans says, does your name have an extra space at the end? I had that idea, and I tried it that way. I even tried putting in my middle initial in case that was it. I tried putting junior because I'm a junior after my last name, and sometimes they require that. None of it's working.
Yeah, thank you, RJ. Jesse Taylor. Yeah, the thought.
Maybe my name is my email data. No, when it tells me that that's not my name, it actually will say it must match your name on the account, and then shows me what that is, which is my name. And my daughter, Mama Minnie, says try IE. Some of them sites don't like other web browsers. Actually, YouTube tends to be the other way. It doesn't like IE, it likes Chrome. But I'll try it. I mean, I'll try anything.
Yeah, it's like, but with her thing right there, it's like she's one of those types that started out basically, you know, like was a nobody, you know, like I think we said like I think she was like working at McDonald's or whatever, and she was even doing some like stripping or whatever. So she got a taste of, you know, internet fame, you know, and basically, you know, build up from right there. And then she got before the Instagram like 100,000 and all that right there. So she got a little Insta famous and, you know, got so used to that. And now it's all gone, and now she's afraid that she's going to end up going back to what she used to do, and she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to do that now. She's got a taste of what it's like to be famous, and now, you know, doesn't realize that, hey, you know, every once in a while, you know, things are going to happen in life where you're going to fall down, and you got to work your way back up. It's like she can work a way back up to like all that right there, but it's going to take a while. But she doesn't want to do that. She wants Insta fame, you know. She wants it to happen overnight, and now she thinks she's better than everybody. So everybody's just basically laughing at her ass.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I was helping my kid when my son turned 16 and he wanted to find a job. So I'm, you know, he gets in the car, take him over to this open air. I guess they call them pavilions. I call them an open air mall. And he's like, well, I don't really want to fill out an application for Aeropostale because, you know, yuppies like shop there. And I don't know if I could sell stuff to yuppies. And I looked at him and I said, who the hell you think you are, Mr. No Skill Heaven? With the pickiest with the jobs and shit. He went, huh? I said, you ain't got no skills. You ain't got no bargaining chips. And you're over here, I don't want to sell to no yuppies. Motherfucker, if you fill out the application and you get hired, smile and sell them fucking jeans.
Thank you, Willie Ham, for the donation. I think Sinatra says is a money whore who is bad with money and begs too much and trumps up his content. Okay. A little shade of Sinatra.
No, not Sinatra. Sinatra's one of the coolest people.
He can be.
Yeah.
He can also not be sometimes.
Well, speaking of which, we're going to go through gaming in a little bit. We're doing Risk World Domination, I think.
Oh, Risk?
Yeah, I think we're starting at 11 GMT, although I think he might have put it in wrong. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
I love playing Risk, the board game Risk.
I've heard of it, but I never got a chance to play it.
Oh, it's really fun. If you like strategy type games, you would really enjoy it. Oh, and one I missed. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker, for the donation on Streamlabs. Have a couple of bucks to hate me, you old hillbilly.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I
think the
hate
closest I
everybody. I'm
came,
sorry.
I think the closest I came is Battleship.
Yeah.
Now that I could play like crazy, man.
Oh, I
Shit.
used to love to
Thought
play
so.
Battleship, but I have a cousin that will cheat at Battleship. Given half a chance, he'll cheat every time.
Oh wow. I'm pretty okay with Battleship. I'm really good at checkers. I suck at chess.
Oh,
I'm pretty decent at chess.
Somebody tried to get me to play Axis and Allies, and I'm like, first of all, you have no clue how much World War II has been hammered into my head. I have no interest in playing anything that has anything to do with that war because because my dad's a World War II historian. So you could just imagine all the stuff in the house that pertained to World War II.
Oh, you're
including-
roboting really bad there, Musi.
Sorry about that. Hang on. Let me do a switch. Hang on.
Mama Minnie, my daughter, says me, the boyfriend, and our friend is on a game of Risk going on 3 days now. Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. How about now? Better?
Yeah.
Okay,
there we
good.
go.
Yeah, my dad had, growing up, there were World War II documentaries in the basement. There were Time Life magazines from World War II that he had in mint condition in those like magazine keepers. There was notes that he personally took. So it's like, by the time I graduated high school, I was like, I'm done. Anybody mentions World War II to me, and I'm like, I'm out.
I've played Axis and Allies. It's pretty fun. I used to like, and I guess BW is a Nazi because I used to like taking the Axis side and winning the game.
See, I've never played Cards Against Humanity. Now, I've played Quiplash, and I played this game called Use Your Words that I used to play on my channel live streaming, and I will again when we get more memory for my laptop because that one's hilarious.
Well, last time I played Cards Against Humanity was on like Sunday Fun Day, and that's when
Bear, is that true? The
was a
last
fun
time you
stream
played
one
Risk was 10 years ago in military prison, you bad boy.
yeah, it was. Yeah. That is true. Unfortunately,
You played Risk or you took a risk?
Both, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking, this is Madwoman Muse. She's been around at least as long as I have.
Yeah.
And yeah. She's
Now,
been kind of under the radar lately because her and her husband have been without a home.
Yeah, because September we decided to finally leave what I so not so lovingly called the hellhole. And for those of you that don't know, it was a house that his sister owned that she allowed to fall apart and get overrun by roaches.
Ooh.
So when we were out of there in September, we were living out of Ronan's truck. And for those of you that are about to say how big a truck, it's a semi. So we were living out of a semi up until recently, the 1st of April. No fooling. That's when we got our apartment. And I'm absolutely loving it because I have a kitchen that works, hot water, I can take a bath. You don't know how much you miss the creature comforts until you don't have them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, remember the road trip tweets.
Yeah. And every once in a while, I'll probably do those, get in the truck for a weekend or something for a couple of weeks with him and probably do that again. Because going through Utah, if any of you would have been a fly in that truck, you would have been cracking up laughing because I literally, the old smartphone he used to have, I filled up the memory on it 3 times because I couldn't figure out which view was the best view to take a picture of. So I was just taking pictures of everything.
Oh, did you have a story ready today, Bloodwing?
I did not have a story because I figured I'd be ranting the whole daggum time.
Oh, well, we have 5 minutes left, mate, so we should probably take questions.
Yeah. Any questions anybody has? It is question time. And then it'll be in the stream time very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Allman, I think you sent me a Discord invite, but I did not see it until it expired. So if you want to resend that, I'm sorry. I'm not on Discord very much anymore. It has a tendency of crashing my computer when I turn it on for some reason.
See, we got to get you a new computer.
Yes, we do. I'd love to. Thank you, Willingham, for the donations. SAD or SSD are way better than a disk or more RAM.
Yeah, we're the laptop is going to get upgraded with more RAM, Willie, until we can get me a beast. And in order for it to be called a beast, I'm turning all the hardware specifications over to Ronan, who knows how to build computers. Because if you put me in a computer store with all the components, my brain goes,
Oh, I can build one. My problem is because of my situation, I really need a laptop.
Yeah.
And I'm not as fluent in building laptops as I am desktop. Desktop, I can build one of them with my eyes closed, but
yeah. I mean, I'm good. I've coded my own websites. I can do some, website coding, and I can do blogs and all that stuff. But like I said, you put me in a computer store and I'm looking at all the hardware components and my brain goes, no, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Peter Allman, question for Bubba Window. Have you ever been repeatedly asked the same question over and over again? You got me. Yes.
You got shouted at by drunken uncle last night for doing that, Peter.
Yeah. Look, Peter, I'm the parent of 3 children, grown children now, and the grandparent of 10 children. So, yeah, I've been asked the same question over and over a few times.
Wrong laptop, random American.
Yeah, because of my situation here and because I do lay back quite often and have to keep my feet propped, I need a laptop that is more portable than a desktop. And because my wife sleeps during the day, I like right now I'm out in the front room, so yeah, Drunkle hasn't turned up. No. Just a couple of more minutes left, guys. Questions? Bansball, can we get you a Razer or Alienware laptop? I would love that. That's what I would have in mind is the top of the line gaming laptop. That way it would handle anything I would throw at it, but they're very, very expensive.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Very pricey things.
But yeah, if you could, I would love it. But I don't see that happening. Thank you, Willingham, for the what laptop are you running and what are your specs? It's about a 4-year-old Toshiba that I bought on sale when I bought it. So yeah.
I think I joked one time on Twitter that it was the Fred Flintstone special, and in order for him to make it process faster, he had to literally move his feet under the desk.
It's really not so much the laptop's fault, but it's never been right since my daughter's pit bull knocked it in the floor and busted the case.
Ooh.
So it's more that than anything, I think.
Yeah.
Cynical Lindsay says, careful with Alienware. Bloodwing, I remember Scribe mentioning that the Alienware computer he had completely bricked. Yeah, and I've heard some bad things. Used to be Alienware was the go-to gaming computer. That was it. But that's not so much anymore. I have heard some bad things about them.
They're owned by Dell now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're either owned by Dell or Gateway, one of the two. Oh, there it is, Dell.
Up. Well, we have reached the 4:30 mark, which means it's the end of this stream. Hope you all enjoyed the extra grumpy edition. Hope nobody's too extra mad at me, and if you are, well, hey, you'll get over it. I mean, that's just the way it is. Thank you, chat, for showing up and supporting the stream. Thank you, everybody that donated. I certainly do appreciate y'all. As always, thank you, Bear. Anything you want to show?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm trying to get all the links.
Okay.
The two links there in the chat are my D Live accounts for Irate Alex and Irate Bear. And I'm about to drop a video that I did over on Irate Alex that you may not have seen because YouTube may have not have given you the video in your sub feed. Go give that a watch, guys. Tell me what you thought about it.
Yeah.
It's with Lord Bear as well, so I know you'll love it.
Yeah. Love me some Lord Bear.
Mm.
Thank you, Pat, for jumping in and helping out today. Anything you want to show?
No problem. Like I said, yeah, everybody knows me. I'm your boy Pat. Like I said, I got a couple of videos coming up. I got to redo my one video about the Samantha Sadio thing right there, where toward the fact I don't have like the video of her snapping her legs right there, so that way, you know, like it can avoid the whole copyright thing. And then I got the one about the girl who was just freaking out about not having, you know, the access to kill her own child. I got that coming up after I do this right there, which is probably gonna be like in a couple of days. But you know, that's my thing right there. And I got a Discord in the works. Like it's up, but it's not fully all there yet. You know, I'm still trying to figure out the kinks.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And Musy, it's been a long time since you and I have sat in a stream together.
I know.
Thanks for jumping in. Anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I started a new channel. Actually, I renamed an old channel and I'm starting it over. It's called Maddie's House of Geek, and that is the first link in there is the blog for it, and the second one is the YouTube channel. And what it is anything geeky, any kind of reviews, and when we actually get the setup set up, there's also going to be cooking videos on that thing.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
So all that's coming, and what I mean by reviews is a lot of people are like reviewing the new anime. I'm going back to my childhood. The first actual anime review that I did on my channel, for those of you that are around my age, older, and maybe a shade younger, I just finished doing G-Force, otherwise known as Gotcha Man. So that video's up there on that channel. I'm also vlogging on that channel. Monday mornings and Friday mornings are called the Pajama Diaries because I just turn on the phone and talk into it, and my hair's a mess, and I'm in my pajamas. So
And subbed.
I'm always in my pajamas unless I got to go out.
So when I get my live stream, when it comes to my anime and my movie reviews, like I said, I gotta hit you up. Like I said, you know, Viper Sword is supposed to be helping me out too. So it's like,
yep. I also did a review. Actually, did a reaction to the 1 minute and 13-second clip for the Endgame movie. That's up there. That's my newest one. So yeah, the next one everybody voted on, the next review and breakdown I'm going to do is probably going to be a 2 or 3 parter, and that one is actually going to be Star Blazers.
Yeah. Okay. Go check it out, folks. Maddie does good stuff.
Thanks.
All right. Well, we're a little over now. That's the end of the stream for today. Thanks everybody once again for supporting this old man. I'm just I just can never get over that I've got a channel even this size. I'm just amazed anybody even wants to hear me rant. So thanks everybody for coming out. Anyway, that's been the stream, and as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.